versus SA matchup. One that I'm sure we're going to have a lot of fun with because both these teams, I think, have been pretty interesting to watch. TSM side, they've got Tomato, who has been playing a different hero every single time, and this time around it's going to be Lifestealer. I know you hate that hero. I am not a big fan myself. What makes it a good Lifestealer game? Let's focus on the positives here, Avery.
I mean, when you get to hit people, this hero feels pretty good. You just got to keep hitting them. Hitting them in the lane, hit them in the mid game, hit them in the late game, hit them until you can hit their throne. You just got to keep hitting them, which means you want a lot of stuns with this hero. Anything that can hurt the enemy's utility and allow him to not get kited, that's pretty nice.
I see a lot of stuns.
Now, you got that going for him.
Yeah.
Infest bombs, pretty nice. If you can aid the jump and just burst somebody off the high physical burst initiation, that's pretty good for the hero.
You got 2 cores that get Blink Dagger, potentially.
Not a bad Lifestealer game.
Okay.
You might go ham. Downside is there is some natural kiting for beastcoast. You have a toss save that can come out. You have Naga who can net you for at least some of those engagements. Send the illusions down the sides of the map. Pango can disarm you. It can roll away. This is a double-edged sword. You can hit him in the rage. That's pretty good.
Is he going to go Radiance, do you think?
Yeah, probably. I think it's like anti-Naga build is Mjolnir Radiance? BKB?
Yeah.
I want to say?
Yep.
So I feel like he'll go that route. Probably Maelstrom into Radiance. And it is kind of what he has queued up here, but we'll see if he commits to all of that. Tomato does like to plan out his items and not always commit to them. Either way, this is not the strongest Lifestealer lane. He's versatile. Pangu who can disarm him or just jump in with the shield crash and get the negation, and then you have a ranged support on Schofield with the Snapfire that's stronger than your Bane. So I would expect beastcoast to actually play up in this lane and kind of take it to Tomato. And a lot of times if Lifestealer doesn't get to just hit the melee core out of the lane, especially on the early waves, his lane can feel a little lackluster. So I would not expect this to be some super fast snowball game for TSM, but I think they have a lot of stuns. They have very strong cores who can pressure all 3 lanes simultaneously over the long run. So if they get that going, it can create a scenario where beastcoast maybe don't have as much freedom to make the moves that they normally want to make in a lot of their games. I like that idea that Kezu brought up in the panel. That was, you create this simultaneous tower pressure on multiple lanes and you don't just group up somewhere for an objective. I kind of like that idea of how to play this lineup. Of course, you're playing versus Dark Mago Tiny, though. And even the best of plans have been waylaid by this player-hero combination, which I believe is the highest win rate in the world, Cap.
Really?
Sure.
All right.
No, I actually am pretty... I know this is at least one of the highest. It might be the highest in terms of total games played. I think it's at least a 75% win rate.
Wow.
And over like 100 tiny games. It's ridiculous.
That is really good.
It's actually just ridiculous how good this guy is at tiny. Statistically, probably the best tiny in the world at this point.
Yeah, probably.
I'll tell you something. I always banned it versus man whenever I played versus.
Yeah. Kasane on the receiving end of a few impetuses. It's going to be pretty annoying for him. He's matched up into a Naga Siren lane as well. His helping partner is going to be the Rubik. Down here, we've got the White Mon Bane, which is a hero we don't necessarily see all the time. Oh, I'm surprised he didn't pop his stick there and fight. Either way, pretty good lane winner, at least traditionally. Is he still good at doing that? I feel like I just haven't seen that much.
Bane does not really win lanes anymore. The best he can do is stall, create some gap for his carry to free farm and get the levels later. The level 1 and 2 are really trash for this hero in terms of trading now. Level 3 is okay with level 2 Brain Sap. That's where you can start to ramp it up. So if you make it through the early waves so you still have some mangoes and some regen left, the hero becomes okay on the lane. But ultimately, you're not picking Bane for the lane anymore. You're picking him for the mid game and grip. You want a hero that grip really debilitates. In this game, it's going to be the Pango. Even the tiny when he jumps in, there's not a lot of instant grip cancel in this game. So he should have pretty good targets. And of course, Nightmare is his second best spell. It's an okay Nightmare game. I think whenever you're playing versus these illusion carries and summons heroes, which Enchantresses can be a little rough, depending on how easily they can wake it up.
Uh-oh, Ari. Okay, if he started running back, he would have ran into the Hellbear and been blocked out. I thought maybe he would die in that situation, but he does successfully get away from the clap, which wasn't even used. It was faked out by Stinger, who is still threatening it.
Overall, though, 3 TSM cores topping the charts here pretty much. So they're pretty happy with what's going on in this laning phase, I think, considering their lineup is a bit more single target focused and maybe early momentum based. As long as you can get out of lanes in a decent position, then those single moves you want to make or the ganks with supports become a lot more feasible. That's the word I was looking for. Schofield Falls.
Finally. Just gotta say, First Blood was still out there, and all of these heroes getting low, but not quite biting the dust until Schofield steps a bit too far to Whitemont.
And Schofield, he was popping off yesterday, so if you can shut anybody down, I'd be shutting him down. I don't want flashbacks of that series.
Seriously.
Also, just extra XP for Whitemont on this Bane is going to be really nice. I put Bane in that category of, like, Shadow Shaman, you know? If you start feeding him some kills, starts getting swole, you're going to regret it later. Very powerful spells.
It's part of that reason the strength is because they both have a channeling single target spell.
Yeah, you know?
Kind of need to be stronger than the enemy to utilize that one.
Exactly. If you can get the levels faster, if you can get fast boots, which can sometimes be a struggle on these types of heroes, but is a pretty important gap close item.
Get to Aether Lens. Both of those heroes really need Aether Lens.
I'm telling you, Bane and Shadow Shaman are like, they're long-lost spiritual twins.
Yeah, light and dark. Two sides of the same coin, yin and yang.
In fact, they were born to the same mother, lore-wise, which is actually Morta, and that's where she comes from.
It's going to be your bit now of just people complained about not getting lorgasms lately, and you're just going to make stuff up.
I mean, somebody has to step in. Where is Slacks? He's on vacation. Somebody has to fill the role that the community has called for. Not respecting Shadow Shaman's twin here, as Whitemon gets another kill on the board for Tomato.
Ooh, look at this pressure mid. Bryle is going to push back Mago and start dinking away at that mid-tier 1 tower with the Siege Wagon being protected a little bit too.
I mean, Bryle played this mid lane pretty damn well. Got the level advantage, level 6, just creating that innate pressure that forces a Beast Coast response. This Dragon Knight Tiny matchup is pretty nice because Tiny almost never has threat on you for a very long time, and you just burn him down. Now, Haste
got Haste Rune, so that's a free kill on Sacred. And once again, Sacred is going to walk away from this laning phase a bit dejected. He is having a rough one.
He does it to himself, though. They know this is going to happen every time.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody in this meta picking off-lane Pango expecting the lane to go well.
That is true.
That's some masochism right there. This is making me want to play some off.
Is there anybody else who's playing offlane Pango? Like regularly?
Sickos.
Never heard of them.
Weren't you playing it?
I am an offlane Pango player. I
That's
don't
why your
play
rank's
it.
so low.
I do not play it in this patch because it's garbage, I think.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, Sacred continues to prove me wrong.
It's not about the lane. It's about the game. It's about what he does with limited network to make up for it in the team fights. That is all they picked this Pango for, the disruption and the utility. So you have to make up for it past the lane, and here's a second Dragon form. Just throwing it in on this Tiny. Burn the rock.
Man, he hit level 6 first, but they've been dual laning so much that Mago actually hit 7 first.
Also, Bryle was running around a bit. He made the rotation bottom. He's been getting some runes. This is still a strong push. You just don't have time. You don't have the damage to confront this Dragon Knight, really. Your other cores are not going to come in and help you either. Naga, Pango, they're not rotating to mid. Battle for the 8-minute rune. It'll spawn top, but Whitemon is going to pay the price. And I don't know if that's a kill he should be giving up because he has the night vision here on Bane. You got to abuse it, son.
Yeah, playing in the river does you no good. Schofield will be the return kill, but
power damage.
Dragon form is going to be running out soon, but they can maybe finish off this tower. Looks like they're going to go for it. They're going to go for the Dragon Tail stun. They're actually doing a lot of damage to Mago. Finally gets the tower.
So that rotation, they work out for TSM in the end. Beast Coast unable to respond with this Enchantress support duo. And it's not often you see Enchantress outmaneuvered in that mid lane in the 3-on-3. But Stinger was just playing top, hasn't really joined these engagements. He is very high level. I don't know how he's this high level, actually. He's almost level 6 on Enchantress. 0-0-0 with 7 CS, and he's level 6? Okay.
I'm going to guess this lane just got too hard for the Naga Siren, so
Yeah,
Enchantress was left alone in lane.
That's really high level for an Enchantress, though. And he's saving skill points. Even more interesting. Nonetheless, Dark Mago is continuing to get beat on here.
Yeah, where's the help? Where are the supports? Where's that high-level Enchantress? Comes now to the rescue.
Wait, Hurricane him back in.
Wait, what? He's an actor.
He wants more solo XP. He's an actor.
I like how he laughs. He laughs it off. You know, like, hey, no harm, no foul. You didn't die, so, you know.
He's like, get back in there, son. You're not done. I'll tell you when you're done. I'm telling you, he wanted to kill him, so then he gets even more solo XP.
Yeah. Oh no, the mid lane. I guess I have to take the lane now.
Oh, our Tiny died, guys. How'd that happen? Oh, Hector, I don't know what's happening mid. Just keep farming. Nonetheless, Stinger is already level 6. So early Enchantress points. Can you do anything with him? Roll bottom to try and force Lifestealer, infest, and they'll get it. But that's about it here. Another tier 1 tower down early for TSM. This early lane pressure between the Vanguard Doom and the Dragon Knight proving dividends. Dark Mago has to hide in the trees.
I don't think you can really threaten Bryle. Yeah. Not with Kasane there, ready to go with the Doom.
Early map control is going to be in TSM's favor. Now it's a question of can they up that pressure and get more control out of it, take away the space from Hector. We've seen a lot of teams and a lot of players try to do this and be unsuccessful. It is no easy task. You are going up against the fastest farming carry in the world.
True.
Schofield.
Tomato laying into Sacred once again. He just cannot kick this Lifestealer out of lane.
No,
it is very awkward,
annoying.
this whole situation. Yeah, K1 Hector is going to get a lot of farm because he's playing an illusion hero, and that's just what he does. But Tomato is no slouch when it comes to the farm department either, as we heard earlier from the panel talk about how he is in that same category. Not quite the same as Hector, but very far up there. Sacred will get off the Rolling Thunder and bumps Bryle just in time. He also stayed out of vision. Even Ari could have right-clicked him down.
Surprised Waymon didn't just go for that grip. Probably wants to save it for another kill. Honestly, they don't mind if this Pango rolls all the way back to base. Like, so what? They're just going to keep looking, and why not? Early Blink Dagger for Bryle. He's going to let him use the space they've opened up from these towers. I like it. No reason to be too greedy here. You're just going to be able to farm the enemy side of the map. You have unkillable cores.
This is looking really, really bad.
I feel like we say that every Beast Coast game.
Yeah. And Sheep has made a very big point about this, is that one of the things about this team is that they are very good at making comebacks. So we're definitely not going to count them out, but
I feel like that's only true until you play someone that's better. And then you just don't win.
You're saying like throws are comebacks are a two-way street? Like it requires the enemy team to throw?
Yeah, most of the time. I mean, you can say that about anything in Dota, I guess, but... Well, here's a little throw. Overextension from TSM. They'll pay the Dragon Knight price. Grip not finishing anything off on that Pangolier. Every time you write this Beast Coast team off, they manage to find a little window.
Yeah, they do.
I guess we also can't write Dark Mago Tiny off. I've seen him pull some crazy games back, just chain pickoffs on the map.
See the difference in gold and where it's coming from. You could see way more lane creeps coming in for the Lifestealer because he did not have to vacate his lane. But the Manta is done for K1 Hector. That begins the inevitable out-farming of Naga Siren versus most other cores.
He is having a very farmed Naga game. We cannot underestimate it here. It looks a little weak just because how farmed Kasane is at the same time on this Doom with Devour. But Hector is sitting at 160 CS right now. That is a nice spot to be in at 13.5 minutes.
With Kasane having a Vanguard and Guardian Greaves and Naga Siren naturally being kind of a low damage core for, I would say, a large part of the game, I'm concerned that TSM's just going to show up to these fights and they're just not going to be able to pump in enough damage.
Well, I don't think beastcoast is winning at 5-on-5 right now. But the question is, how much can TSM punish them on the map and not get caught in those situations like we saw yesterday where beastcoast managed to rat you out, find a pickoff here or there, and crawl their way back in the game.
Yeah, okay.
Because the early Roche is not necessarily here for TSM's lineup. It's a downside of this Lifestealer build with Maelstrom into Radiance, which Tomato is going. The single target physical is not very good. And there's that Tiny Toss.
Nice.
You're giving up a big pick.
The highest net worth hero about to fall. Oh, the Nightmare save gives him a little bit.
Maybe
And now
not.
the Fiend's Grip catches him out as well. Kasani has to juke these fireballs. He's going to go back on a Schofield, but the Rolling Thunder catches him as he makes his charge forward.
And now you give up a second kill on top of that grip. This is what I'm saying, Cap. They saw the Rubik top, and they know Lifestealer's not going to beat these fights, so Beast Coast, why not just jump there off the blink reveal for Dark Mago, and suddenly you're not able to capitalize on all of this control. I don't know how this team keeps getting away with it.
Yeah, it's very curious. What were they doing there in the first place? Because it's not like you're getting a pick off. You're not going to be able to doom somebody next to their tier 2. They're just going to run back. I feel like there wasn't much to be gained being that far forward, you know?
It's the TSM feels very strong. They feel like they can't lose a fight, and they're just looking for it. But Beast Coast, they're not just going to give you the head-up fair engagement. They're going to play dirty. They're going to look for the numbers advantage, wait till they have it, and find the toss initiation.
Well, this is TSM playing a little dirty, too. Well, 1-on-3, 1-on-4 now that Bane joins in, and they're going to be able to keep the Avalanche for later. So
When you have these lineups that can't force the Roshan, it means you just want to play the map and extract more net worth out of it, which usually means forming that like 2 to 3 man hit squad that can pressure cores out of areas while 2 other heroes farm up lanes or push the map in towards your aggressive boards. So that's kind of Tomato's job, as long as he can do it.
Jeez, Tomato, that was cutting it close.
Yeah, he's getting forced off lanes. Not a good sign. Almost gonna find Sacred top, but almost.
Oh, how
What?
did he have vision of him?
I
Valve?
know, actually. Lingering vision, I guess, but I don't know what it was lingering from. He did not roll away. Means this will be another go for TSM, but the catch is not there. White Mon too far. Oh, they're gonna infest for the boost
Go
speed.
one more time. One more Blink Dragon Tail.
Drops the Verdurous Dale.
Oh, he's going to be tossed back again. And the kisses start raining in. Oh, the kisses are going to be able to hit the 2 of them.
Got
They do
interrupted.
manage to stop it, though, thanks to the Lifestealer Rubik combo going in, and the stolen kisses. Now green globs of fire raining down on Beast Coast's head. Nobody died on the side of TSM. This time around, they managed to read what Beast Coast wants to be doing and counter it.
That was a very important interrupt on those kisses. That was looking like another double kill.
Yeah.
Or Schofield coming in there. But TSM bring the numbers and may get the punish. On the flip side, Hector is going to work on the other side of the map, farming your jungle, pushing in bottom, and cutting mid. The Naga continues her progression towards that late game. All these little moves matter a lot for TSM, because you're not building a net worth lead. You're just building some time. Time to get to the items that make Hector's game impossible.
What are those items?
BKBs,
Like, besides the Radiance.
late game Dragon Knight, if he can get to Black Dragon territory with maybe
yeah.
a Mjolnir of his own. The
Yeah.
Radiance on Lifestealer. He's even going to go Ags after that. More ability to pop in somebody and just start killing them. Not sure if I like the Ags after this type of build, but I guess in theory it could work out.
Yeah, talk to me about this Aghanim Scepter. I did not actually see it in action, but I heard about it. Arteezy went that build, right?
Did not work out for him.
Yeah, it did not work out. Why are we seeing this build lately? What's it good for?
What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. There you go.
Okay.
That's my... I don't know, man.
I mean, it's basically like...
Okay with this Radiance build, you can just hop in somebody and start hitting them with all the bonus damage.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of hard to target. It's pretty annoying. But when they have a lineup that can do the infest jumps in the first place, I feel like you lose some value there. It's good versus Naga if you ever get to infest Naga. Because then if she sleeps or tries to run away, you're still hitting her.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I mean, there's another part where there's only... Oh, Kasane tossed in
back.
the kisses. Look to finish him off. The self-nightmare sleep helps a little bit, but... Impetus and K1 Hector, they'll be able to do enough.
Dark Mago's back in. Arcane Rune Tiny.
Oh, yeah. Get a little bit more. Nice avalanche steal,
nice
but a better cookie usage from Schofield. Catches the Ari.
And there's another jump. The cooldowns mean nothing to this man.
The way where TSM loses hero after hero.
This is why you ban the Tiny, man. This is why. He always is going to find some opening in the game and break it. And suddenly, 2K net worth lead. How do all these Beast Coast games look like this? Are they actually just a better team when they're losing?
I don't know exactly. Because, yeah, it does very often feel like, yes, Beast Coast made a good move. They saw an opportunity with their Arcane Rune stuff, but it also feels like TSM is giving them opportunities to get pickoffs like this. TSM, they used this Infest earlier during the mid push, and they're finally going to put it to work, but it doesn't actually connect for a kill. Stinger was just a little too tanky.
You know what this reminds me of? I don't want to say it, but it really does remind me of how Tundra was abusing the illusion carries at TI. Like, Hector is just dragging you around the map, and he's been doing it with all of his carries this entire tournament, and then at some point, it opens up a kill for Dark Mago. And they break your numbers, and they just follow it up with more and more.
It's very...
And the odd thing is Tundra went away from that.
Yeah.
Right now they're playing these single target damage carries for Skeeter, who isn't able to create the map pressure for them, and I think it's made their games a bit wonky, and they're trying to find ways to supplement that. Whereas Beast Coast are just jamming the Naga, jamming the Terrorblade, Chaos Knight. Probably see the Wraith King at some point in this tournament, and it's working for them because they're punishing teams on the map really hard.
High ground ward, Stinger. He's not able to kill the ward, but neither does he die. With a Frost Armor on him, they cannot right-click him. They get off one hit and they're slowed by the Frost Armor.
And every time you make one of these little moves as TSM and you don't get anything, it's a clump that you get punished by the Naga, killing the rest of your map. I mean, what is Hector CS at this point? 315. He's already up to Mage Slayer on top of that heart, going Diffusal after this Manta. Very interesting build for the Naga. He's going to just look to mana burn these cores out that don't have the largest mana pools. Even if you throw a couple illusions on the supports, it's pretty debilitating if they... Because this lineup can't clear the illusions. They can fight through the Naga, but they don't deal well with the illusions.
Ooh, the Rage.
Should be able to TP. No Basher yet.
Yeah, that is a problem. If you're going to go the Aghanim Scepter, one cool thing is that you'll be able to like kind of prolong your offensive capabilities even after Rage dies. But during the Rage, you're not as potent. Because if you had a Basher, then you'd be able to lock down, keep these heroes in place for a little bit more, do more damage.
I mean, the whole rest of his lineup's stunned, so maybe you just rely on that. Get it later. Still, you force Naga off the map, they're going to look for that quick Infest play. Ryle's looking for the jump.
Dude, Kasane's just stuck inside those trees right now. Mago is finally going to be caught by the Infest jump. Cookie gives them a small bit of distance, but he's still going to die. In the river, he gets burned down. Now, TSM, what are you going to do with this? The enemy mid laner is dead. Can you get an objective? Can you get Roshan?
I think you have to Rosh here. It's not pretty, but I think you have to do it because this is your BKB timing. You have BKB on Brow, BKB on Kasane, all of your spells up. You just have to force some sort of punishment on the map for Beast Coast right now. It's too hard to try and catch this Naga. I just don't think you have the heroes to shove in the lanes fast and make that type of play. Your lineup's a bit clunky. Your 5-man is where you're powerful with all these stuns and BKBs online. You just got to make the most of that. Whitemon will kind of look bottom, but again, look at how hard this setup is for the Bane. You just can't enter the jungle right now, despite knowing exactly where Beast Coasts are. That's going to be an issue you're going to have to deal with. They're looking at mid. The stolen net. Not in time.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Why is his sponsor tag Mayonnaise 2011? What? All right, panel, I know you guys are listening. Please If you get TSM, it doesn't even have to be Tomato. If you get TSM, please ask about that. Is there some story I don't know about?
It's probably some hip-hop. Some allusion to a hip-hop album from 2011. Big White Mayo or something. I don't know. All these names, you know, they're Zoomer names.
Fat Eminem with his hit album, Mayonnaise.
The 2011 Redux. Diffusel's up for Hector.
Sacred sees an opportunity. Kisses. Bane is already dead. Kasane looks to be able to get a Doom out. And he gets Mago. Mago should die here. The Cookie tries to help him out. They go for the deny. No. Tomato gets that last hit instead. Schofield slowed down by the open wounds. It's spread over to him.
Decent idea in the fight to take out the Bane, open it up for the Pango. But Doom just removes Dark Mago from that engagement, who did have double damage and BKB on that Tiny. At least has it now. That should make his life a bit easier. Still, that's an Aegis fight. Trying to burn the mana out here. Doing a decent job.
Yeah, he actually has to pop the wand to be able to get the rage mana. This is going to be really annoying for Tomato whenever he's caught like this.
Keep in mind, there's Diffusal on Sacred Pango as well. So you have double Diffusal going to work on these cores. It's a lot of mana burn. Just debilitating in the fight once you start getting poked. TSM do not want to let this happen. They do not want these engagements to go long where they're getting poked with illusions and the swashbuckles. They want to just have a quick jump stun into the burst.
There goes his mana again.
Just look, these illusions are so annoying. They don't have easy clear for them. I like this Diffusal pickup. It's applying a lot of pressure right now.
Give him the stolen cookie.
There's that double damage BKB going to work.
Yeah, trying to do what he can. Tomato with the rage, it's going to wear out here. I think he was hoping to be able to get an infest off, but okay, his mana does not get burnt out.
They're
He's
try
on top of the creeps here. Oh, look at that stun grouped up together. That was a little dangerous. Beast Coast, they're going to re-engage. Hector, ensnare after ensnare. They go for Stinger. Tomato pops out and kills him. Kasane has his BKB, but he doesn't have mana. Finally gets enough to be able to hit him with one Infernal Blade shot. Cookie back in, trying to stop him, trying to save Hector. Tomato's coming, and he's going to be able to kill Mago. See if they can kill the real Naga Siren, too. If they stick on top of him, they might be able to do so, but he's been burned out of mana, and he keeps on getting disarmed.
Where's your mana, son?
Oof. Triple for Tomato, so fight goes pretty well for TSM, but boy, did it take a lot, and they still have not solved the problem presented to them. How do they kill Hector?
And he's going to get a nice damage ramp here. If you can finish off this Bloodthorn, all of a sudden, those pokes become deadly, right? You get mana burn, maybe you pop BKB at an early time. If you get netted into Bloodthorn with those illusions on you, that's where the big damage power spike is going to come in for this Beast Coast lineup. And that was a fight where the initiation didn't go that clean either. You got a pretty good Nightmare save from Whitemon, I believe, which negated a lot of that Tiny jump. Infest proving to keep the fight alive for a long time. Oh, he didn't even get the... How did he live here, actually? He just lived. Interesting.
A lot of heals.
I feel like he would have insta-died off that Tiny jump, so maybe the damage just didn't come through. Grip insta-canceled here.
Whitemon, this time he gets instantly killed. Dark Mago, though. Telekinesis, gets a 4-staff down, so off of that one, and he's able to stay alive.
Yeah, he just up for a minute.
Okay. I think they're actually going to re-engage here. Finish off that one hero. Mago jumped into Bryle. That was a close call, but he is going to be okay. Now the second life of Tomato. Yeah, he's able to just back out. Again, TSM, can we get any objectives? Whenever we win these fights, they're winning them just ever so barely. They always get like an extra kill out of this situation. But the lanes are always pushed in.
Yeah, Hector's done a nice job controlling the map. I like his Naga gameplay right now. And he has yet to die in these fights either. Just keeping up a perfect game here for the 400 CS Naga Siren. Pushing towards that Bloodthorn, and it's coming fast. It's coming real fast. This is going to be a nice power window for Beast Coast if they can line it up, get the control going through with some good toss back or cookie. You got to be thinking about this next Roshan if you're TSM. You do not want to give Beast Coast a good initiation and have that fight be bad for you while you're trying to push towards these late game items. You're trying to get to that Ags on the Dragon Knight. He's 900 off. It's a really big item in terms of the tank ability, as well as this BKB for Tomato. You can buy out here if he wants it.
Great for the tank ability, but he still kind of needs damage behind it, right? Does you go just like a straight Daedalus third item?
Radiant structures.
Basher, Daedalus sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Dire structures are
Sorry, I was talking about Dragonite.
Oh, Dragonite. I mean, you could go another Mjolnir.
Dire's top tower
Okay.
is under attack.
Can always go the Daedalus or the MKB. AC, not bad this game either. Extra armor, pretty nice versus what beastcoast are outputting. That is very deep, Mr. Schofield.
Yeah, I think they got. He thought they were going to be able to get that tier 2 for free. TSM saying nothing in this life is free.
Don't be mad.
You get 1 kill, and Stinger gives him the voice line as he walks by in vision.
Are scanning.
There's no way to make that cross point in the mid lane without being spotted. He knows it too.
Oh, Whitemon dropping his Shadow Amulet to send a message.
Well done, but not well enough.
These two competitors just too locked in, apparently, to make any grand emotional response to that.
I think we should have more item dropping into it, honestly. I think it's like a forgotten art. And Schofield was one of the originators of that.
It was.
He's one of the true original gangster item droppers on LAN.
Never forget Kotaro Hayama.
Another pioneer.
Radiant's top tower.
What was there? Is it Team Unknown? Is that their name back then?
Yeah, Frankfurt Major.
Frankfurt Major.
Eliminated.
Newbie.
Yep.
TI4 winner Newbie.
Was that when Howe was still playing on that team?
It might have been, yeah. It
Was
was.
he retired by now? I feel like he was playing in that game. I don't know why my memory thinks he was.
All I remember is they were definitely washed up, but nobody thought they were that washed up.
I mean, when you get items dropped on you, yeah, it's a rough time for your legacy.
Dire's top tower.
Okay, heavy push in the top lane for TSM. Of course, Beast Coast, as always, keeping the pushes going at bottom lane. Do they have a Boots of Travel here on TSM?
Dire's top tower
Nope.
is under attack.
In fact, we haven't seen a lot of Boots of Travel at this tournament in general. Just not an item that's in favor right now. Tread's too efficient.
But there's a lot of illusion heroes, a lot of split pushing as a
We've seen a couple.
And
Actually, we've
Fury
seen a
ones.
couple. We have seen a couple on like,
Yeah.
the Invoker, the Doom.
Blink for blink. Schofield doesn't have one, though. Nice interception there from Sacred. That'll low Schofield. Oh, he burns out as he gets to the high ground. A shame.
Nice attempt at the save, at least.
It was.
Looked flashy.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Is this your Bloodthorn Naga timing? You're not really getting that fight you want if you're Beast Coast. Maybe Hector BKB is the signal, but TSM are trying to up the pace with that Black Dragon. Put it to work. This is a pretty good window to strike for them as well. And this is all for that next Roshan. You want to set the map up, you want to control the vision, not give
Radiant's
off the
bottom
pickoff,
tower is under attack.
not give up the pickoff.
I kind of feel like this is a similar situation to the last game that we watched with a Naga Siren that's behind. He's stalling out the game, but I'm not convinced that she's actually going to be able to outscale the multiple heroes on, in this case, TSM, that are all kind of scaling up into their late game.
I think the one X factor of this game is you have that Tiny Toss. I still think this Naga Tiny is a very underrated combo in general, especially when your illusions are not easy to kill for the enemy team, because you can send it in insta get the vision and you just toss people into that, and Naga can bail out your Tiny.
The Shadow Amulet
counter
play
jump.
from Whitemon.
Too good.
Mago is going to be caught here.
They're
Doomed up
healing
as
him.
well. The song allows him to be able to reset. Stinger actually gets a Force Staff even, so no, is nobody dead? Sacred's going to TP out. That lasts long enough. Nobody dies from... Oh,
Stolen
the
song.
stolen song!
Catches
Hold
two.
up.
Do you re-engage here if you're Beast Coast? Might have
Okay.
to.
Hector has a BKB, so he's going to be able to do something here. Support for support. Tomato chasing after Mago. Mago desperate to get up to the high ground. He gets it with the Ogre Seal Totem. What a savior of a neutral item, but he leaves behind his carry. The first death of K1 Hector happens at 33 minutes into the game, giving Tomato a godlike spree and giving TSM perhaps a chance to maybe just go straight up into the high ground.
Radiant's middle tower
They're going to chase Dark Mago. They want the Tiny out of that as well. He's going to waste a lot of their time, though.
Yeah, he could have blinked away sooner. I think he was intentionally
Yeah,
trying
he
to
was
draw them
baiting him
away
in.
from his base, right?
Man, that Shadow Amulet paid dividends. Just letting him scout that Tiny up the hill. It's a tough place for Beast Coast to fight if they don't have vision for that Tiny jump, which came a little late. Did get the ward planted, but not before he sees anything, and especially with that main invis. And eventually, this is where the scale can come online for TSM. With Black Dragon going into the Manta, into an item after that. Tomato's just going to go Silver Edge here. Not too bad if he can just run in the front, scout something out, start the fight on his terms, then none of his team are getting jumped by that Tiny. That seems pretty good to me. TSM just seemed very cool, calm, and collected in this game.
Yeah, just naturally going through the flow. Get themselves another Aegis and a Shard for somebody.
I also think if you get the Shiva's Ags on this Doom, that is a big problem for Beast Coast.
Why?
I don't think you're bursting this Doom anymore, and it's going to be even more AoE magic damage versus Naga, versus the Tiny when he blinks in. It's just very obnoxious to deal with. They have done a very decent job of kiting out these fights and saving people between the 4 staffs, the Cookie, even just blinking in with the roll to buy some space.
Yep.
But at a certain point, I feel as though it becomes overwhelming. You gotta get a fight soon here if you're Beast Coast. Your Naga is almost capped. There's only so many creeps Hector can kill.
Hector's greatest nemesis. The limitation of item
Yeah,
slots.
he should play Lone Druid.
True.
Then he can farm for 2 entire games.
Does Hector play Lone Druid? I don't think I've ever seen it.
Surprisingly, no.
It's not a strength hero or an illusion hero.
Maybe he should go Manta Radiance Lone Druid. That sounds pretty good. They poked the Dragon at BKB, and Pyle stayed
the
around.
Stolen Song stops the kisses. I wonder if he can actually steal the kisses as well.
They're just chunking him in the grip.
The feed script doesn't last quite long enough. Sacred gets a little bit of distance. Mago goes in, tries to get the toss. They target the Bane first. They're going to be able to bring him down. Tomato's just leading into these heroes. He
Got
goes
the
for
Doom on
Mago,
Hector.
but the Doom on Hector, so he changes his mind. Let's go for the Naga Siren, guys. Ari's going to get him with the cookie, slow him down. The Glimmer Cape helps him, though. They don't have detection. Oh, no. And now they get bashed up on the Lifestealer. Now the Doom has faded. He can get off a song, maybe. Telekinesis. So many stuns. Oh, Manta dodge in and gets up the song, but Tomato has his BKB. Hector, desperate TP out. Oh,
No bash?
okay. Didn't need a bash. He just needed damage.
There was no bash from the Swashbuckle to bail him out. That was what I was looking for.
Oh, yeah.
Sacred, you gotta help your boy. That's a great fight for TSM. They got the dream scenario where they wanted just baiting it in off that DK early. BKB, I thought that was gonna go wrong, but Stolen Sleep, cutting off the backline for Beast Coast, and then you get a full duration grip on that roll. That is enough time to reset the fight for Bryle and just turn it around. Beautiful, beautiful stuff from Ari.
This Black Dragon is not easy to bring down with magic damage.
I mean, this sleep is just perfect. He's sleeping all of Beast Coast while allowing Tomato to just go to town on Sacred. And that creates the gap for Bryle. By the time you re-engage here, spells are just coming back up for TSM, and you still have Aegis on Tomato during this entire time. And that's going to be high ground siege.
Telekinesis throwback. Tomato will get the kill on Schofield. He does have a buyback, but they're also going to get Stinger. Their feeding supports 1 by 1, while their cores are not alive. There is... I don't know if they thought they could be able to hold this tier 3 tower or something, but that's certainly not the case when you don't have Mago, you don't have Hector. Now you do, though. And you've got to Doom on 1 HP. Kasane just needs 1 more hit. So, there's so many hits are coming out from Schofield, but they're not enough.
They won't get the Doom. Hector, he's going to have to make up for it right here.
He is, and he's going to be able to start with a Bane down. Sacred trying to cover him, but Tomato just laying into Hector, man. Once again, a song. But
He needs a breather.
can't actually do anything with that song. Schofield. Why didn't Schofield go
Once
home?
you're in, Cap. I'll see you in Valhalla. I will not take the coward's way out.
Hector's like, I'm leaving now.
I mean, he just has no TP. That was his dieback. He's committed to that engagement. And TSM are committed to this high ground. There's no answer to Tomato right now. He's big, he's bad, he's got Aegis, he's got Basher, he's got Elven Tunic. Who is man fighting this Lifestealer? It's not your Naga. 14-0.
Well, congratulations.
25.
You did burn his mana.
That's true.
It has not stopped him from just attacking you over and over again. Who needs spells?
He's Mayonnaise 2011, putting in the right clicks. I think you have to ignore him in the fights and try and kill everybody else.
Think so too.
But the problem is he's just wailing on your Naga the entire time. Hector is struggling to withstand the damage. Aegis is out in 20. They might be playing for the expiration poke.
It's going to be a long, dangerous hold.
Yeah, but look at where TSM are on the map. They're not exactly here.
He
No
does
fetch.
almost have enough mana to be able to infest. Has it now. And he gets away. Beast Coast. Not able to take advantage of a potential vulnerability point.
They're still hunting. Gonna find Whitemon.
Yeah, they found Whitemon time and time again in these fights. Killing him first has not really changed the outcome too much.
No. There's just too much EHP on these heroes. Especially Kasane. He has just felt unkillable this game on the Doom. And they've been jumping him a lot of the time. It just takes too long to go through Vanguard, Guardian Greaves, Shivas, BKB, 3000 HP. Infest that can save him on top of it, not to mention Rubik Shard with the lift or a Nightmare Sleep. There's a lot that messes with these Beast Coast initiations.
The extra long rage. So his rage, it's got a downtime of 11 seconds.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
This is where you wish you had Tiny Axe plus Daedalus, some other damage mechanism.
Yeah, seriously. Their heroes are just not scaling nearly as well as they need to. Imago's aware of that. He is trying to build an Aghanim Scepter. He has the crystals for it, even. But he can't quite get there fast enough. Not at this pace. Not at the way TSM is smoking straight into Hector. Uh-oh. Sacred, he's going to try and help him out as best he can. Gets the Manta off, gets off the BKB, the bashes, Tomato. If he can get him, maybe. But no.
Through that Lincoln Sphere as well. Sacred bailing out his boy. Whitemon will chase on the map, just trying to catch anything here. TSM in a substantial power position, and they know it. Dark Mago shows bottom, instant TP by Tomato. Clear the Tiny out of here.
And with the Silver Edge, he'll get right on top of him. Ooh, good Glimmer Cape, though. Ooh, that was nice. Crit.
Almost saw him with that Shivas. I mean, Beast Coast are doing a decent job of protecting their cores on the map. I will say, this team is very slippery. Well, if Sheep's analysis is correct, Beast Coast are now losing this game really hard, which means they're about to win it. This is when they thrive, right?
Yeah, they're just, it could be the Aghanim Scepter on Mago. I doubt it. I still feel like it's not going to do enough damage. Maybe if he can just delay until they get full out Daedalus?
I think he needs Daedalus and Divine.
Yeah.
Those games that really change. You just need something to chunk through these cores. Way too tanky right now.
I do kind of feel like TSM... never mind. What am I talking about? We're waiting for Roshan. I was going to say, I do kind of feel like they're strong enough just to hit high ground with the Dragonite. I mean, that's part of the Dragonite specialty at this point. Aghanim Scepter plus the Manta.
I think you could Siege. It's just going to be really annoying getting mana burn and poke. There's a tossback threat that can make the fight really weird. Maybe you take that fight into buybacks, it goes awkward, and then you throw the game into this Roshan. Or it's better to just do it the other way around.
Sure.
And you got the Shiva's Ags on Kasane who's infested right now. This is a terrifying Doom. Absolutely terrifying. 4,500 HP after that infest with 40 armor. Ags and Shard and the Spell Prism to boot.
Terrible.
TSM are just playing this game methodically. Roshan will spawn, and that means time to go in the pit. Ags for somebody, But who doesn't have one? Honestly, give it to Bane. That sounds sick.
No.
Well, why not?
Because all of their stuns are AoE stuns. Right? Rolling Thunder, Avalanche, and Song. If you're hitting the Bane, you're also hitting the illusions.
A man can dream.
I think the Lifestealer one is probably a bit better. Now he can jump inside of the Naga Siren when she's Song of Siren and TPing out, and he can hitch a ride to the enemy fountain.
Also picks up bots, so now he can threaten Naga on the map.
That's nice.
Still be able to join the fight, because Hector did push in your bottom lane, took a tier 3, and was threatening your racks. Something you're going to have to keep in mind here if you're TSM, don't end up in a bad trade where you feel pressure to go back. Either just commit to the fight or deal with the lanes first.
Dire are scanning.
They see the Lifestealer, and they've got a successful scan on this high ground. They also have the illusion showing where all the heroes are.
Here we doom out. The
Trying
bot's
to catch up
coming
to
in.
Hector, but he gets interrupted by the Rolling Thunder. Really
What a
good
roll.
interception by Sacred. This allows a full disengagement here from Beast Coast. Well, except for Sacred, who got Abyssal Bladed and Fiend's Grip. Never mind. The song is not enough. The BKB's a stolen song once again from Ari. Oh, he
he's looking.
goes in?
You got 3. What can you do with this?
Who are they going to prioritize first? It's Schofield. Schofield's dead first, so's the Rubik. Laying into Mago, but he uses the totem to get some distance back to the tier 4s, but those aren't really a protection. As you can see from TSM,
Brow's happy to hit him anyway.
damn about your buildings. Yeah, just splash it on the tier
Hey,
4s.
screw the heroes. I'm just going to take your tier 4s.
All right, GG. Honestly, this felt like it was coming.